Solo mi avatar es original, lo demás, no es de mi propiedad. Continuemos. Créditos a Gato con Mostacho y Argentinian Deadpool. Voy a mi cuarto, de nuevo, ya vuelvo, de nuevo. La mayoría estaban con traumas tras ver la muerte de Killua de parte de Misaka, pero los que no lo estaban siendo vistos de muy mala manera. ¿Qué? ¿Pasa algo?
¿Cómo que qué pasa? ¿No te sientes mal con el hecho de que mataran a ese niño?
Mira chica, también me siento apenado por el niño, pero no hay nada que podamos hacer con llanto.
Insensible.
Giorno, no hay que pelear ahora.
Pareciera como si no has tenido una infancia.
Y es porque no la tuve, ¿ok?
Gracias, pero no te preguntamos.
Y así te haces llamar su amigo.
Pues sí, te pasaste compañero. Primero, ese idiota no es mi amigo, y segundo, ¿porque creen que debería importarme lo que crean ustedes? Al menos podrías ser más amable.
Pues esto es lo que opino de ustedes y su ideología.
Maldito
Me
cero.
estoy aguantando las ganas de golpearte, maldito extra.
¿Qué es ese signo?
Eres demasiado inocente.
De verdad queremos saber.
Bueno significa. O también. Eso significa.
¿Cómo rayos aprendiste eso, si antes no lo decías?
El pelo de pasto me lo dijo.
Serás un hijo de así que fuiste tú. ¿Y qué? ¿Lo dije cuando estaba enojado? ¿Ok, cejitas? Maldito cabeza de musgo. Los dos de la trinidad de monstruos de One Piece empezaron a pelear, pero eso no se extendió por milenios, ya les aviso.
Mientras tanto.
¿Por qué demora tanto? No sé, a lo mejor más horas.
Patus, ustedes dos levántense, que va a comenzar ya la reproducción.
Pero porque la radio...
Bueno, es por la ocasión. Por cierto, antes de empezar la batalla voy a dar la temática de la pelea.
¿Habrá temáticas?
Bueno, esto suena interesante.
Al menos no será tan traumante como antes.
La temática es villanos. La mayoría de personajes de My Hero Academia no sabrían qué pensar, debido a que si bien los que pelearan son villanos, varios no sabían qué pensar.
¿Villanos?
Porque villanos pelearían entre ellos, pues no más. Pero uno de ellos es mi gallo y confío que gane. Jaja, pobre pendejo, como quedara cuando vea el resultado.
Al parecer los villanos son muy peligrosos en su mundo. Pues sí, son seres destructores que buscan acabar con el mundo y los héroes.
Me agrada saber que no somos los únicos jodidos.
Lenguaje.
Jajaja, ¿te humillaron Gary? ¿Es tú? Bueno, comencemos el versus.
Bowser versus Dr. Eggman, the king of the Koopas and the baddest of badniks. And they're not alone. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
¿Ellos son los villanos? ¿Es en serio?
Los monstruos de la tortuga espinosa sí que son peligrosos, pero, ¿qué tipo de ejército tiene este tal Dr. Eggman?
¿Es que acaso no han visto a un robot en su vida?
¿Robot? ¿Qué es eso?
Bueno, son seres artificiales creados con energía eléctrica y codificación.
Y hasta ahí déjalo Ricky Ricón, no quiero que estas estén convueltas en la cabeza toda la reacción, pues al parecer es una guerra de ejércitos.
Esto es interesante, sabiendo quiénes son los dos luchadores.
Tengo interés por saber qué son esos robots del doctor.
Ah, the Mushroom Kingdom. A peaceful land of kindness, adventure, love. Ah, boring! Move aside, princess! It's time this place got way more awesome! Here comes King Koopa himself, better known as Bowser! The moment this orphan star child was found by Kamek, it was clear Bowser would command the disparate outcasts of the Mushroom world. The Koopa Clan. Sadly, not everyone's born a toad, and they treat these critters like monsters, fated to a life of infinite jump farming for one-ups. Bowser wanted a different world, but Princess Peach Toadstool would never allow the evil king's day in the sun. Her light was so bright, Bowser became infatuated with her. So he turned all the toads into bricks and kidnapped her, putting their princess in another castle, and another, like 40 years of castles, only to be released if she agrees to marry him and his dad bod. Yet he was foiled time and time again by those pesky Mario brothers. However, Bowser is nothing if not persistent. Look at him! Dude's built like a brick house strapped to a saw trap. That spiked shell takes a lot of punishment. Not even the weight of a castle can scratch it, especially when he rolls up like a prehistoric Beyblade.
And the Koopa King doesn't just breathe fire and control lava, he commands nature itself.
Spitting meteors from outer space, beckoning the earth with a snap, inhaling torrents of wind, straight up calling down lightning. What else has he got?
Oh, just a little dabbling in dark magic.
Hell yeah, Wizard Turtle.
The original NES manual even describes him as a sorcerer king. Magic is how he turned the toads into bricks, only countered by the princess's heart magic.
But that's not all the magic he's mastered. Telekinesis, creating perfect clones, reanimating his undead skeleton, and worst of all, ruining every game of Mario Party. Hey, no! I stole those coins fair and square!
Bowser spent decades hoarding treasures, coins, magic star rods, warships, clown cars, you name it. This is the same guy that created multiple flying castles fashioned after his own face.
Yeah, he's definitely got an ego on him. He's talked about having a 4-digit IQ, but I've seen this moron put death traps in his own backyard. A man after my own heart.
Despite his clumsiness, Bowser's charisma and leadership brought many to his side. Not enough to defeat Mario, but his army doesn't make it easy on the Red Plumber.
They're the most wicked band of misfits this side of World 8-4. The Koopa Troop,
an army spanning multiple territories across the Mushroom World and beyond.
Goombas, Koopas, the Troopas, and the others make up the infantry. Some with wings, some in shoes, and some even in race cars. They're the red shirts, first in and first out.
Piranha plants, bloopers, and lakitus use their surroundings to get the jump on unsuspecting prey, by land, sea, or sky.
We'd be here forever jotting down the small fries, booze, shy guys, sentient bombs with feet, and more.
It was imperative for Bowser to nurture a unit that covers their own vulnerabilities. For example, Kamek and King Boo both have magic, but Boo has battlefield control with illusions and destabilizing dimensions, while Kamek focuses on buffing allies, canceling enemy powers, summoning anything he desires,
or swapping my items to screw up my Mario Party lead. Not again.
Speaking of items, most of the minions can use pretty much any power-up Mario can. The Goombas make frequent use of Tanuki tails, and Bowser can really get into the cat roleplay. But as the Koopa Troop grew and grew, it started to feel less like an army and more like a family unit.
Oh, you mean like his kids, the Koopalings?
They're adopted.
What's the difference?
Good point. Bowser took them in and even trained them in dark magic.
So no one's as spoiled as his natural Nepo baby, Bowser Jr., captain of the Koopa Troop.
Spoiled is an understatement. Remember his escapades as Shadow Mario? He terrorized Delfino Plaza with literal evil paint. That whole debacle was basically his attempt at elementary school art class.
And I bet Bowser still has some on the fridge. But really, the king is very protective of his kids. If the fam's in trouble, he can will himself to transform into a giant kaiju, all to crush whatever bullies talking smack.
Maybe a little overkill. Just one punch from Giant Bowser launched a castle out of orbit. Taking into account the flight path and the scale of their universe, Bowser's punch must have hit with a force of over 125 trillion tons of TNT. Considering how Yoshi punted poor Raphael the Raven so hard he exploded into a constellation of stars, this isn't even close to Bowser's full strength.
So don't bully his kid, especially if he falls into some of Bowser Jr.'s set of black paint. That stuff's scary.
Enough to unleash Bowser's Dark Fury, a form whose very steps cause widespread natural disasters.
Okay, seriously, how does Mario ever beat this guy? He's like Godzilla, Doctor Strange, and John Cena all in one big turtle.
We're not even to the best part. Bowser's dark magic became so potent he eventually learned how to warp the very fabric of reality.
Anything the king imagines, he makes happen. He turned all of Yoshi's Island into a storybook. And remember those painted worlds in Mario 64? Yeah, he made those. And the staircase that goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Oh God, does anyone know how to BLJ?
He also stole ultra-powerful items like the Wonder Flower, which can mold reality like Play-Doh, and the Dream Stone, which can be used to wish someone out of existence.
But his most iconic thefts are those big shiny power stars.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Infant power stars, aka Lumas, can become whole galaxies. They also ferried Mario across the universe in 3 seconds. That's 489 quadrillion times light speed.
Obviously, the Big Daddy Grand Stars are even crazier. Bowser used one to power his space kingdom, but then guess who showed up to ruin everything? it's a him!
And when the Grand Star was freed, it caused a chain reaction that destroyed the entire universe via a massive black hole.
Thanks, Space God, that Rosalina showed up to save the day.
Not that Bowser needed saving. He's been swallowed by another black hole and thrown into a star that went supernova.
Imagine if this crazy OP fire turtle had to fight himself. Oh wait, he did, and he beat the hell out of him.
With all this power, it's a wonder he still hasn't conquered the Mushroom Kingdom. Perhaps it's because his visions of grandeur were never really what he sought. Surrounding him is a crew of outcasts and miscreants like him, ride or dies that can't be swayed against him.
Oh, are you saying he's secretly happy because he's got a big monster family now?
Yes, but also when they actually worked together, they legitimately conquered most of the known universe. So,
he's a baddie through and through who will teleport through space and time to show you what's what. Because he's no ordinary Koopa. Make way for the king.
Todos se encontraron en el reino champiñón, viendo a todos los Toads en sus trabajos.
Guau, qué tiernos.
¿Qué son ellos?
Ellos son los Toads, una raza de pequeñas personas con sombreros con forma de honguitos, pero eso no importa, lo que importa es esto. Todos fueron transportados a la sala del refrigerio donde la princesa Peach estaba comiendo pastel con Mario, Luigi y dos Toads. ¡Wow! ¡Qué hermosa mujer! Pues sí, es un buen partido.
Ja, 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 ja. ¿Qué pasa, Pony? ¿Por qué la risa?
Es que sus narices, jajaja, parecen de payasos.
Mira, Usopp, son tus primos. Porque es lo primero que resaltas.
Con mucho más respeto, sombrero de paja, ellos son los héroes del reino champiñón. Jajajajaja, no puede ser.
Cachan.
Todos sintieron el temblor en el castillo, sintiendo preocupación.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Un temblor?
No, más bien parecen cañones. Deku salió para ver qué era y lo que vio lo impresionó.
Es una flota, debe ser del tal Bowser.
Todos vieron cómo Bowser sacaba una garra gigante para lanzar a los hermanos Mario fuera del castillo.
No puede ser,
Mario y Luigi.
Mario y Luigi fueron lanzados del castillo.
Bueno, con esa introducción, les voy a decir el origen de Bowser. Él era un Koopa, otra raza además de los Toads, el cual fue adoptado por un hechicero llamado Kamek, para que éste gobernara y guiara a los marginados del reino champiñón, el clan Koopa. A él al decirle adoptado no sería un insulto porque de verdad lo es, jajaja.
Ese tipo tiene algo con raptar a la princesa en el castillo, como en los cuentos, y Mario es su caballero para salvarlo.
Todos vieron las demás habilidades de Bowser, sea su aliento de fuego o su magia que podía usar. Entonces él también usa magia.
Magia negra específicamente.
Entiendo que los unicornios necesiten magia, pero esa literalmente es una tortuga de una casa de largo, ¿para qué necesitaría ser mago también?
Pero se quedaron en blanco al escuchar que lo que siempre hacían para derrotarlo era tirarlo a la lava. ¿No les parece algo radical esa técnica? Pero este tipo igual se levanta de eso, el muy hijo de perra.
Pues debe de ser un gran rey si su propio reino lo eligió.
Oh, él también tiene hijos.
9, pero 8 son adoptados XD.
Bueno, al menos se preocupa mucho por su familia.
Algo bueno tenía que tener. Este tipo, a pesar de ser un villano, fue un mejor padre de lo que yo pude ser.
Pensó el héroe de fuego al ver cómo un villano podía ser mejor en lo que él falló, ser un buen padre. Todos vieron las demás acciones de Bowser como lo son su transformación de Bowser furioso, la cosquiata del universo, sobrevivir a un agujero negro y una estrella en supernova. Para que ese fontanero lograra derrotar tantas veces y con eso en contra a Bowser, debe indicar que es muy determinado. Ahora sigue el Dr. Eggman.
Citizens of Earth, lend me your ears. Imagine a world of endless possibility, where people are free as the wind. Isn't it disgusting? Now imagine a better world, one with proper guidance and the technology to bring about global peace.
But whiz, only a brilliant mind can make that happen.
Not just any brilliant mind, he's a genius at heart who knows the dangers within. He's Ivo Robotnik.
Dr. Eggman!
As a mad scientist myself, his story is my inspiration, just as Eggman's was his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, who sought to create world peace through technology. But then his beloved granddaughter, Maria, was killed by the Guardian Unit of Nations, better known as...
Gun. They're frickin' called G-U-N. Anyway, Lil Eggy grew up a lonely narcissist because all his family talked about was Maria this, Maria that.
Boo-hoo! Neglect and envy tainted Ivo's goals of following Gerald's footsteps. He distanced himself from his grandfather's legacy. Instead of bettering the world, he would conquer it to get the attention he deserved.
No, you mean craved. Desperately craved.
Tomato, tomato.
You just said it the same way twice.
He aimed to establish Eggman Land, a capital of science. And this paradise would have worked just fine if not for that blasted Sonic the Hedgehog.
For years, Eggman's plans literally blew up in his face. And he's a very sore loser.
But just like any good experiment, the doctor did more testing, seeking better results.
He's created plenty of knickknacks to terrorize the world with. A laser gun, a cloning ray, mind control cannons, a flying armada, typical evil scientist stuff.
Then there's the big ones. He invented a spatial displacement trap, which, while online, scatters a target's atoms across space. Oh, and then there's the metal virus, which transmutes organic tissue into living metal zombies. It's so deadly, it created a plague that nearly wiped out all life on Earth.
Shame Eggman never made himself immune to it. That's a whoopsie.
And when he's not duping you with decoys, he's riding in style with the Eggmobile. It's lightweight for maneuverability, but tough enough to withstand moon-sized explosions and even the center of a black hole.
I mean, it's kinda lame looking, but he can plug it into big bad mechs like the Egg Walker or the Death Egg Robot, whose giant laser once obliterated 77,000 cubic meters of rock in an instant. That's like having an atomic bomb in your pocket all the time. Oh, okay, maybe this guy's pretty cool.
Eggman built machines for a long list of combat situations. Some look like knights, others use extraterrestrial sources like the Wisps, and then there's the orbital bases, like the Death Egg.
The reference is obvious, but Darth Vader's version is like a toy compared to the Death Egg, which can annihilate stars. Woof! A whole constellation gone in one shot.
That's not to say Eggman doesn't enjoy scrapping with blue hedgehogs himself. Enter the Egg Dragoon.
Hell yeah! The rawest of the battle mechs. It's got electric drills. It's got ice missiles. It's got a whole lot of bullets. My God, Whiz. I need it.
And don't forget, Eggman built all of these things himself. Maybe world domination is in his grasp yet.
One problem, Eggman's a turbo loner. No hobbies, no friends, no wife, no nothing.
Come on, he has friends. I mean, he's a feminist. Oh, okay, maybe not, but what about Infinite? Sure, they might have joined forces over a mutually sought revenge against Shadow, but it counts. Sort of. Who needs friends when he can build friends?
Obviously, Eggman has a tough time collaborating with others, so he just built his own army instead.
The Eggman Empire.
The Badniks are mass-produced foot soldiers, buzz bombers, crab meats, caterkillers, egg robos, and don't forget those cute little moto bugs. The Badniks may seem simple, but they're led by an elite, multi-talented unit, the hard-boiled heavies. Really leaning into the egg thing, huh?
The army has a wide variety of troops, even your classic comedy duo with Orbot and Cubot. They're Eggman's assistants and immense disappointments. Every genius has their duds.
Hey, at least they're not Scratch and Grounder. But that's why he's made top-notch bots modeled after the Sonic cast, like everyone's favorite robo-faker, Metal Sonic.
Metal Sonic has the most horsepower in the Eggman Empire. He has the moves and speed of Sonic and then some. He's had his rebellious phases, but Eggman's reprogrammed Metal to better follow his commands. Additionally, when upgraded to his Neo form, Metal Sonic could copy biological data, including unique powers like Shadow's time stop technique, Chaos Control.
He could even copy Silver's Psychokinesis, and with enough Chaos energy, he powers up into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Though everything would change with the appearance of the Phantom Ruby. One of many trump cards at Eggman's disposal, the Phantom Ruby alters reality by manipulating perception.
Basically super OP illusions, but in Infinite's hands, it's a weapon of mass destruction. I don't know how illusions translate to body replicas, changing gravity, or making a fake sun, but go off, King!
And when used on the planet's consciousness, which is a thing, the Ruby granted Eggman the Lightman form. Yep, apparently Super Eggman is canon, though it is pretty complicated to manifest.
But the Phantom Ruby isn't the only souped-up gem Eggman has. He's used the Jeweled Scepter to make the world-shattering Egg Wizard. Then, on more than one occasion, he's effortlessly gathered the super rare, super powerful Chaos Emeralds. You know, the things that power Super Saiyan Hedgehog.
Eggman built and built and built, and eventually, he built something that started to build on him. Sage was originally designed as a mere assistant, but through an alien encounter, she was granted actual sentience.
Sage is already super powerful, but now she's also super smart. She thought up millions of battle plans all at once to defeat the massive titans.
And you can barely remember where you put your dune bug.
I know exactly where it is. It's at the police impound. Thank you very much.
Sage was Eggman's saving grace. He had previously found machines with personality lacking, but Sage's great adequacy in serving her function provided Eggman with something that, for the first time, he'd hate to lose. In essence, a sort of daughter.
So, like any good dad, he gave her the keys to his car, his spaceship, and his orbital death ray. Hell, now she controls the entire army.
And this frankly unheard of trust from Eggman became crucial in defeating the End, a primordial entity so mighty even Supersonic struggled against it.
Their battle can only be described as peak fiction, because charged by 7 Chaos Emeralds, Supersonic's no joke.
The power of 1 emerald can shift continents. All 7 together can shift the universe.
And kill some pretty terrifying bosses, like Eggman's Time Eater, which ripped apart space-time like tissue paper.
In short, Chaos Emeralds give thoughts power. With them, Eggman's best machines can run indefinitely while matching the greatest powers ever seen. Like when 3 supers battled Solaris, who tried to destroy time itself. Solaris extended its chaos across multiple timelines in about 20 seconds, or 73 quadrillion times light speed.
It's funny though, while Eggman's smarts have sort of defeated Sonic here and there, he's pretty effective when he teams up with the Blue Blur to save the world.
Well, recall how Professor Gerald was a good person before losing the granddaughter he loved. In Eggman's case, now that he has Sage, perhaps a similar story is playing out in reverse.
Nah, Eggy will always have a harebrained scheme behind his cufflinks.
So watch out, critters and plebeians of the world. He is the Eggman, and he's got the master plan.
Todos aparecieron en un nuevo lugar, este era Green Hill. Bienvenidos todos a Green Hill.
Bueno, este lugar parece muy bonito, con los animales volando por este exterior.
Pero todos vieron a alguien corriendo a grandes velocidades.
¿Qué fue eso?
¿Lo seguimos?
¡Wow! Parece un erizo.
Él es el héroe de este mundo, Sonic el erizo. Ese es un robot con forma de bicho.
¿Qué hacía ese pajarito ahí?
¿Qué crees que pasó? Todos vieron disgustados como Eggman se llevaba en una cápsula a los frikis para la automatización.
El Dr. Eggman. Vaya forma de aprovechar la fauna.
Bueno, a diferencia de Bowser, su origen de Igor Robotnik, el cual es su verdadero nombre, no data de él, sino de su abuelo Gerald Robotnik. Él quería crear la paz mundial mediante la tecnología, pero luego su nieta María fue asesinada por la Guardiana Unidad de Naciones, abreviada como GON. ¿No podían elegir un nombre mejor? Tras esto Eggman se alejó mucho de la visión de su abuelo, así que decidió que dominaría el mundo, en lugar de mejorarlo, siendo su nuevo objetivo crear una capital de la ciencia, Eggman Land.
Suena como a un parque temático.
Lo sé, ¿verdad? Todos vieron los demás cachivaches del doctor como láseres, una nave, el metal virus, trampas, etc., pero no pudieron tomarse en serio al Eggmobile. No me digas que esa cápsula es su transporte principal. Ja, no puede ser, es en serio. Sí, puede verse penoso, pero este se puede conectar con varias armaduras para pelear con Sonic. Pero todos no pudieron creerlo al ver que hizo una base espacial. Y eso no es todo lo que hizo esta nave, les mostraré qué hizo. Ups, archivo equivocado. Ahora sí, este es el archivo.
Citizens of Earth, lend me your ears and listen to me very carefully. My name is Dr. Eggman, the world's greatest scientist, and soon to be the world's greatest ruler. Now witness the beginning of the greatest empire of all time.
Destruyo. ¿La luna?
Sí, para que vean que este tipo no anda con juegos.
Vaya vida para no tener amigos. Vaya, de los nuestros.
Y por eso hizo ese ejército. Todos vieron las demás cosas que hizo el doctor, como a Metal Sonic y a Sage, la cual se volvió como la hija de Eggman.
Vaya, se volvió su nueva hija.
Como dan las vueltas de la vida.
Parece que será un duelo de magia contra ciencia.
Si es así, entonces la magia será la vencedora.
Ni lo creas, burrita morada, los robots son más peligrosos de lo que crees.
Eres un grosero, ella no es una burra, es una pony.
Como sea, pero los robots son más súper. De todos modos, espero que tengan terno para la ocasión.
¿Pero por qué terno?
Porque
It's time for a death battle!
I've come to make an announcement. This territory is now the base for my upcoming Eggman Land 2. What a joke! I am Dr. Eggman, your new genius overlord. Get a load of this!
Una boda.
Parece que el rey encontró a su reina.
Menos mal no está mi hermano aquí, él siempre llora en las bodas.
espera, ¿era una trampa? Todos al escuchar el motivo de la pelea, no les sorprendió en lo más mínimo ver que el Dr. Eggman era el que inició todo. Lo peor de todo es que sigue sonando como un jodido parque de atracciones.
Que empiece de una vez.
Vamos, Dr. Eggman.
Nerd! You call these toys an invasion force? I've seen toads do better. That's a decoy, idiot! Infinite!
This power is without peer. It is the ultimate strength.
Bowser va por la línea frontal. Es un movimiento muy arriesgado.
Destruyo el dragón en pocos segundos.
Este tipo es un idiota, para creer que este tipo iría por el frente como él. Todos vieron cómo Infinita aparecía y destruía a todo el ejército de Bowser, y de no ser por el Rey Boo, habrían caído todos muy rápido.
Bueno, eso fue rápido.
It's too late! All according to plan.
You've lost the battle before it has begun.
Excellent work as always, Metal. Ready to wrap this up, Sage?
As you command.
You know what they say, the more the merrier. Showtime!
Todos verían como Metal Sonic se llevaba el Ruby Fantasma, sorteando la magia de Bowser y soleándose el ejército, pero un truco de Kamek hizo que perdiera el Ruby.
Parece que todo tu esfuerzo fue para nada, Metal.
¿O no? Se transformó. Parece que Bowser está fuera de combate.
Y ahora, si te atreves a venir, maldito cobarde.
Estoy contigo, Bakugo, eso no es de un guerrero.
Espera, Junior está. Esto es solo el comienzo.
Outside.
Todos ven cómo Bowser se levanta en su forma de Bowser furioso, para que se formule que esto es una batalla de Kaijus.
Es Super Metal Sonic.
Está destrozando a Bowser.
Ni siquiera Kamek pudo hacer algo.
Espera, ese es
Junior.
Intento salvar a su padre, pero él terminó muy malherido.
No hay nada más poderoso que la ira de un padre destrozado.
Parece que eres muy experimentado.
6! The Death Egg! Max Power!
También trajo su estación espacial.
Estaba delante de la luna para estar desapercibida.
Maldito desleal, ¿a dónde vas?
Rainbow trató de empujar a Eggman a la batalla mas no lo consiguió. Espera, Else esta. No eras un héroe, rey de los Koopas, pero eso fue muy varonil. Concuerdo con el pelirrojo.
Pero lamentablemente ya terminé.
Curses! Sage! Fire is again! Oh! Wait! So long, Doctor!
Todos se sorprenderían al ver a Bowser vivo, en huesos, pero vivo. Este sigue vivo, ¿cómo?
Su magia negra le permitió seguir vivo sin su cuerpo.
Bien, derroto al doctor.
No, Eggman, carajo, yo confié en ti. Continuemos.
This war was not an easy one to win, which might seem surprising given how the Sonic series is not afraid to show how tough its cast is, while Mario's comes across as more cartoony.
But as it turns out, Bowser had everything he needed to take Chrome Dome down. Strap in, this one's a lot, so we'll break it down into 5 categories.
First up is physical stats. Bowser pretty handedly outmatched any of Eggman's usual mechs, like the Egg Dragoon or the Death Egg Robot.
The Death Egg Robot could level cities. Bowser could punch a castle out of orbit.
The Death Egg could destroy stars, but Yoshi could match that level of power, and Bowser's strength is certainly above the green dinosaurs. Plus, while both Bowser and Eggman's tech survived black holes, Bowser's was much larger.
So, he may win stats, but this could change with their powers. With so many items and minions, that could make all that a moot point.
Aside from power-up items, both could manipulate minds, create duplicates, and alter space-time. However, Bowser had a significant edge in having access to the majority of his abilities at all times.
Yeah, Eggman can do some crazy stuff, but only across different mechs, fortresses, or space bases. Bowser's all natural. He's got all his best powers built in, and he ain't even a robot.
Meaning he wins the war of attrition. He even had counters for battle enders like the Metal Virus and Spatial Displacement Trap. Context matters for those weapons, and both backfired in the past. But more importantly, Bowser could simply reverse the effects with his transmutation magic. Conversely, most of Eggman's robots could get turned into, say, a frog or a block with no reliable way back. Bowser takes the edge in powers.
But definitely not for intelligence. Come on, you have a 4-digit IQ, Bowser? Really? That's cute. I mean, don't get me wrong. Bowser's not an idiot, usually. Just really, really clumsy. Poor fella.
Meanwhile, Eggman's an engineering genius who rarely ever gets bested by brains.
Easy dub. Now, let's talk trump cards.
As in, items so powerful they could decide the entire outcome on their own.
The Phantom Ruby was super dangerous, but specifically targets perceptions. Unlike Bowser's Wonder Flower, which mucks up reality for real. The Ruby affected a whole planet, but the Wonder Flower had the power to alter the universe. Also, the Dreamstone's ability to wish anything out of existence would have no problem cleaning up Super Neo Metal Sonic or Time Eater.
Their most prized possessions was a tougher call. Together, the Chaos Emeralds can break the universe, but so can the Grand Stars. Arguably not as much given the Emerald scaling to Solaris, though Power Stars and Grand Stars are far more plentiful. Clearly, this is getting fairly abstract, and both had multiple options that could win the day instantly, so the safest bet is to call this category a tie.
Which means it's finally time to compare their armies. Eggman seems to deadlier at first glance. I mean, look at all those buzzsaws and rockets. Metal Sonic's speed and power alone could solo most of the Koopa Troop. But the Eggman Empire lacked something Bowser had in spades: teamwork and loyalty.
Eggman is a notoriously terrible team player. His alliances are practically guaranteed to fall apart.
Hell, in Sonic Generations, he could barely manage working with himself.
Eggman's army is designed to be controlled by just him. To Eggman, it's harder to command those with free will, hence his rivalry with the free-natured Sonic.
Meanwhile, the Koopa Troop follows Bowser because they actually like him. They train really hard to cover each other's weak points,
giving them plenty of advantages as this war progressed, like battlefield control through King Boo's magic and Bowser Jr.'s paint. And since the Koopa Troop doesn't rely that much on technology, Sage's hacking potential had little use.
Also, secret weapon? Kamek is kinda busted, canceling Metal Sonic's power copying, stealing the Phantom Ruby, and potentially swapping the Chaos Emeralds were huge game changers.
Add on that Bowser and his army can use any Mario power-up item, and they had billions of combinations that the Eggman Empire just could not actively plan against. Even with Sage's millions of plans to take down the Titans, she thought them to be unbeatable, which Sonic proved was incorrect.
Just comparing their conquests makes it clear. The Eggman Empire took over the whole planet, but Bowser's troop conquered most of the universe.
Eggman was no pushover. His wit, power output, and ridiculous machines gave Bowser the biggest fight of his life. But the Koopa King's ludicrous strength, abilities, and united forces ultimately prevailed.
Eggman tried to poach the king, and now he's cracked and scrambled.
The winner is Bowser.
Al parecer, Eggman no tenía tantas probabilidades de ganar contra Bowser.
Pues sí, al parecer Bowser tenía más pros que contras. Aunque alguien piense lo contrario. Voy por algo a mi cuarto, ya vuelvo, de nuevo.
¿Y cómo funciona la magia en su mundo, pequeño Cody?
Next time on Death Battle.